It's time to continue now. I've had a little bit of a break, so I have notes that I have to work on the references array and probably make some groups. I am in the main function. I think that I don't need references to all of the objects, so I will remove both the projectiles and obstacles array. Now after doing that, here let's create a local projectile variable, which will be an instance. And now we'll just work on this reference instead of the last object of a array. Same thing in here. Simply create a variable called obstacle. Maybe also static type it. Throw it everywhere. What's the problem? Think I didn't remove one of the brackets. Now we should have the same thing that we've had before. There is still some kind of a problem with the health of the obstacles. But I will work with it on it. I will work on it in a second. If I will ever need an references to objects, I will think about that. Now let's go to the obstacle script in here, or maybe not here. Let's go into the globals first, and I will create an enum here. I will call this one groups, and I will add one group in. It will be something like maybe simply a projectiles. Now after creating it, let's go back to the obstacle. Now we want to add the subject to a group, but I don't want to do it inside the inspector. I think that may be easy to get confused later doing it in an inspector. So I will either throw it here inside an obstacle or inside the main. I think that doing this inside obstacle is better. So here I will simply make add to group or add to group. Yes, add to group, but it have to be a string. I'm not sure if it will work with an enum. Globals groups. Maybe I did not save. Save. Once again, globals groups projectiles. Or maybe let's modify it a little bit. Let's not make it an enum, but let's make it a dictionary. And he will just assign one to one, if I may call it like this. Or maybe it have to be a string to string. And now if I have it, I should be able to... This one should be a proper declaration. Save. I kinda find it better because we've got all of the groups in one place, so I will leave it like this at least for now, and we'll see what's gonna happen. And what's the print here? Looks like I've been debugging something. So let's also remove it. Okay, so it seems like I've been experimenting in here. This is an obstacle. Okay. One more thing, this shouldn't be inside of obstacle, but inside of projectile. I collided with, we also don't need it. Now back to the obstacle. Here, when we collide, we get a collider, and if the collider is inside of the group, this one, if it's inside of a group, then decrease the durability, and if it's 0, then remove the obstacle. So So let's see if it works. Found me something in the middle, please. It doesn't seem to be working. I've got it inside of a group. That's one. I've got an obstacle. What is the problem then? So I've been debugging a little bit, and we have the following situation now. I've put the print ops in the obstacle and print proj in the the projectile to check what's the problem with the collisions. And I think that we've got a condition race in here. So when I go into the scene and I will start blasting, as you can see in the console, sometimes I do have only the project string printed. So that probably means that on two-way collision only one is recorded or only one goes off and the second one doesn't have enough time to even work. So we will do it like this. If we've got a projectile, then this projectile will be an initiator. So this will be a obstacle. And whenever this one will hit, firstly it will call a method from the obstacle, something like get hit maybe. And then it will free itself from the queue. And by doing it like this, and also the obstacle will check in its own script how much health does it have, and if it got lower than 0 HP, it will also free itself. Doing it like this should remove the race of the conditions, or however do you call it. So I will check it now. Other thing I want to check. I will tell you about it later. So I will remove the sprints. You probably don't have them because, as I said, I've been debugging of recording. And now we're in the obstacle, and here I do not want to detect any collisions, at least now. Instead, let's create a function. Let's create a function and call it something like get hit. And in this function, I will decrease the durability of the obstacle. Here, let's go back to the 2 maybe, because it should work now. And also, let's make a check on this get hit function so that if the durability is equal to 0, only then Q3 itself. And back to the projectile. Here we want to detect collision. As I said, the projectile will be an initiator. And whenever we detect a collision, we can get the collider. Collision, get its collider. And now we've got a reference to an object that we've collided with. Now let's also go into the globals and check the projectiles to obstacles. Save, back to the projectile. And here let's check. If our collider is is in group, I think that's how it should look. Is in group, yes, okay, we've got it. If our collider is in the group, and here we'll take it from the ready function, change the projectiles to obstacles. Also, we don't need it anymore in here. Instead, let's go into the obstacle, and in this ready function, change the projectiles to obstacles. If you prefer, you can once again make it in the editor in here, but I prefer making it from the code. Back to the projectile, indent, colon, and now if the collider is in the group obstacles, then this collider, call a function called getHit. This is an important place to think about. You have to remember that you need to make a proper checking of the object in here. Either be consistent with the groups and only put obstacles there, or you can check the collider if it got a specific method. There is a function called has method, I think. Has method. You can also use this function. We would be able to check if the collider got the get hit method, but I think that if I keep it if I stay with the groups checking, it should be good. So now that we have it, it should work. We've got it in the group, we've got it on the Q3, and we also got the method call. Let's see. I won't make it. Okay, I was not fast enough. But it worked on that obstacle. Give me another one. Okay, I think that we've got it. It's already more consistent than before. I would say that it works as it should. If I will notice any bugs later, then I will go back to it. The other thing that I'm thinking about now is if we go into our project settings, please give me inspector, thanks. Now we don't need our obstacle colliding with the projectile. We should be able to remove it from here and also get the same functionality. Give me a obstacle that's close enough. Okay, it already works. It also works, not already. But the question is, can I make it better for the collision between player and obstacle? Because I also should be able to. I could make obstacle collide with nothing and stop it from inside the player. So I guess I'll leave it like this for now, but keep it in mind that if you've got any problems with the collisions between player and obstacle, make it on the one way too. It's probably more consistent. The thing that I want to check is, do the objects from the groups automatically get removed from the group if the Q3 is called on an object? To do it, I will maybe add a projectile to the group only temporarily. Add to group proj. Let's go to the player and keep printing the output of the function get nodes in groups. Get nodes in group. There is a function like this, but you have to call it on the scene tree, I think. So go here, get tree, get nodes in goddammit, get nodes in group, and the group will be proj if I remember correctly. Now let's try. We've got it printing as empty array, and when I press it, I've got one projectile in an array, and it disappeared. Okay, so this is great. We don't have to take care of it. Let's remove it, and let's also remove the print. Now I'm not sure how long are we already in this episode, because I've been doing it across many days, but I guess that I can do something else in here also. I think that I may add some kind of an indication whenever the obstacle durability is falling down. I will do it by... You should probably use a sprite for it, but I think that I will just throw some kind of a polygon to the... Or is there a line? Line to D. Line to D. Can I just press? Oh, what the hell? I overdid it. I would like to just make it with a 5. I would like to move the entire structure, but god damn it. Go back. No, let me move. Maybe make it like 3. Also, let's change the color a little bit more gray. I think that it should be, it's not perfect, but it will be good enough for the testing. Rename it to the damage indicator, maybe. I will put it above the sprite. No, you have to put it below the sprite. I will put it below the sprite then, make it invisible. Go into the obstacle script, create another export variable, call it a damage indicator once again, make it a line 2D, save, go into the inspector of the obstacle, drag and drop our damage indicator line, damage indicator line, and now here we're checking for the removal. Let's also make a second condition. This time, whenever this is equal to 1, take our damage indicator, set visibility. Okay, let's do it. Inspector trans visibility. Open documentation. Set visible and value. Set visible true. Save. Let's see now. Give me something in the middle, please. Please, I'm not fast enough, or maybe. Maybe also do some fancy stuff. But I have to find it first. There used to be something like flipping the sprite. Flip page. Let's check if I can do it. Let's make if around the range. So we'll get a random number from 0 to 1, and I think this inclusive. Inclusive. So if this one is equal to 0, then maybe not set, then flip our indicator. I don't know if you can flip it like this. Flip. And on the sprite, flip. Let's go to the line 2D then. Can I flip it? Just like that? I can't. So maybe try some fancy stuff. Let's go once again to the editor. Obstacle, make it visible. Also add a sprite. You can probably do it like that. Our second sprite, offset flip, doesn't work sadly. Let's reverse it. Something with the scale maybe. And why is it like that? If I set the x scale to -1, but now only turn off the ratio, only x. It's not perfect, but it should be good enough. So I will use this method then. Make it invisible once again. Go into the script, and instead of flipping, let's use this set scale. I prefer using functions instead of directly changing parameters because I've had some such situations with doing it otherwise. Other way. Here, oh, goddammit, I forgot. Set scale value. Okay, so this is basically a vector. Set scale, and here draw maybe an integer vector, -1 and 1. Now there should be a little bit of a variation between the I can even make it better. If we are already setting a vector in here, then we can simply throw the if away, set a scale, and we can make a small array in here, either 1 or maybe either -1 or 1. And in there should be pick random. Take it once again and throw it as an second parameter of the vector. Should be even better now. Let's see. Normal, weird. Let's also add more speed to our player because I'm not able to hit every obstacle I want. Now it's better for testing. Shoop, shoop. I would say that it's good enough for now. I don't know how long will this episode be. The next one maybe I'll make some kind of a moving background. Have fun and bye.